Hey there, and welcome back. Again this year, I am registered for the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, which is a worldwide event to raise funds and awareness for prostate cancer and men's mental health. The worldwide event consists of riders on classic motorcycles all riding bikes on the same designated Sunday in May. And this year, I'm going to be taking my Ariel Red Hunter. The last time I participated in this ride, I rode my Norton ES2. I have not started up the Ariel yet this year, so the first thing I need to check is the oil level. This bike, like most classic bikes, has an oil sump. Let's take a look and see if we can still see the oil or if it has all run down into the sump. I'm guessing that it's going to be okay because there is not a lot of oil underneath it. If the oil had filled the entire sump up, then we'd probably see a lot more oil down here. If we take a look down inside there, we can see the oil level looks pretty good. So next thing I want to do is crank the engine over to lubricate the engine and get the oil coming out up here. So I'll hold the compression release, then we'll turn the engine over until we start to see oil up here. Okay. You can see that starting to drip down now. You can see that oil now starting to come up here. So the engine should be lubricated now. Let's see if this has any battery power after sitting this long. So we'll watch the ammeter there. The ammeter moved. So we do have some battery power. Of course, we don't need it for the bike to run. This lever is turning on the running light. That's pretty dim, but if I turn it on and off, you should be able to see the difference there. Next, we need to turn on the fuel. So fuel valve's right there. And then if we reach in back past the valve, we can push down the float and give it a little tickle. There we go, fuel's coming out the top. Now let's see if it'll start. I'll hold down the compression release. There we go. Running pretty good. There is no ignition on this bike, so we'll just pull the compression release to turn it off. Sounds like it's running well. Let's move it outside and take it for a ride. I have the bike moved, but it's obvious that the tires need some air in them, so I'm going to air those up. This isn't an advertisement, but I do like these Cobalt air compressors. You can power them off of AC or DC voltage. It's nice that you can pick a target pressure and it will just stop when it gets to that pressure. And this end is nice and small. It's a lot easier to get in here with this than it is using the normal one that I use with the air compressor. The normal air chucks that I use like this, it's a lot harder to get in there on motorcycles in order to put air in. So that's why I use this with the motorcycles. I'm going to take it to 34 PSI. Okay, I think it's ready to go. Let's take it for a ride.
I've noticed when coming up the stops that my front brake doesn't work the best, so I might want to take a look at adjusting the drum on it. Rear brakes are working just fine. A lot of braking force from them. Get a little twisty roads here. modern bikes, but there's a lot of charm in riding something like this. I really like it. And of course, it's a lot of fun to show up with a mark like Ariel or Norton, the bikes that were so iconic back in the day and aren't really around or being ridden anymore. And this bike, of course, is right-hand drive. It's the same motion to go up and down as far as if you think the shaft ends up at the other side of the motorcycle. So you go up to downshift on a right-hand side bike and down to shift up. The first motorcycle I ever rode was my Sunbeam S7. So I learned to ride on a right-hand drive bike. So I'm perfectly at home in riding a bike like this. On these open face helmets, you can really feel the wind sucking up in between your head and the helmet, trying to rip it off of you. Besides driving in weather, I think that's the one big advantage that the closed face helmets have. They don't tend to want to rip your head off as much as these old open face helmets do. That was a nice little ride. I think the Ariel is ready for the ride. Each of the riders are tallying the donations given to the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. So if you would like to donate to my ride, I'll put a link to that in the description. And if you want to see more videos like this, comment below and click subscribe.